people come out with those. I think that's a huge benefit. It's bringing the neighborhood back to being neighbors. You know, it's not trying to hurt somebody, but trying to help somebody. That's what I feel like the board's goal is. And I think that, you know, I'm not going to say that the last board did all of it. I think several boards have probably split this neighborhood. Not saying that every board was good or every board was bad. But I think at this point moving forward, the focus needs to be on the members and not the board. It's all about the members. It's not about us individuals. It's not a power trip. It's just a job that you volunteered to do to try and help your neighbors. Does that kind of answer your question, Sean?
Yeah, no, that's great.
Thank you. Our situation is a lot on the corner of the community by Star Motors.
That was,
Right, so what Rebecca was going over.
Yeah.
Great.
they're still planning to sell it. It's just in the city. And like I said, once that's done, Sheldon Moss Inc. ceases to exist.
Okay.
So,
We'll move on to, was anybody got anything else to say about what we've covered so far?
Just want to make sure everybody in here knows that the social committee is a completely separate entity,
Right,
non-funded by the HOA,
right,
self-generates their own funds.
right. Just that's that and everything. Just, it was a good turnout. It was a good board. It was great.
And JP was real happy. He had never seen a crowd like that. He
No
thought
one
there were
expects
500
that
people
much
at the first food
participation.
truck over here.
Right.
He almost had to go buy more beer.
Can I ask why that's separate and why not make a committee, give them a budget, something we talked about before?
can I answer that?
Because,
Because it's a legal issue. We cannot take HOA funds, and the moment you take money that is tax exempt and spend it on a non-exempt purpose, it becomes non-exempt and you have to pay taxes on it.
So does that include the oyster roast I walked
No,
into?
because that's HOA only.
Okay.
If we extend out, no, I mean, I guess we could always, when we're trying to clear up this big mess that we have now, if we're paying a tax attorney anyway, we can ask can the membership vote to extend the budget, but
We just
the
can't
board.
spend money on it, right?
Oh, no, but I
We
mean,
could
things like,
promote it.
our Timmy could promote it because that's
Yeah.
not, those are electrons, they're not costing us anything that we're
Right.
not already paying.
Okay, like
Um,
for example, if the neighborhood, there's a lot of people with taking kids catching fish in these ponds. JP said he's not opposed to doing that as long as it's not on the golf course property. So if people got permission from homeowners to come into their property to catch fish, could the HOA sponsor a fishing tournament for the neighborhood?
Let's ask the
Could
attorney.
be lawyers out there.
Yeah, that's- See, one of my goals is to make sure that financially we stay on the right side. I think these are wonderful things. I like to see the neighborhood together. I just don't want the IRS saying, hey, guess what you owe us now?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna lose your tax exempt status if you keep, you know, it's a privilege not to pay taxes on our dues, and we need to treat it as a privilege.
Okay.
I had one before you do homeowners, if you don't mind, just your I said in the email earlier, I had a couple people on our street and the street across North and South Ainsdale that wanted me to bring up that entrance sign. They had noticed that the still shadow one got refreshed recently, and they wanted to know if we could vote to do the same thing on that
You
one.
mean with light bulbs?
Not even that, it's just like the paint's all falling off, it looks shitty around the trim.
You talking about on the brick portion there?
You know, like the middle of the wood section that's sort of embossed.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at it, the paint's all like
Does
coming off.
JP own that, or the golf course own that sign actually?
He owns the majority of these signs. He pays for these signs. He pays half or better than half on the signs and the HOA pays the rest. But when we put the Christmas wreath up on that sign, it's falling apart. It was rotten on
It's
the
kind of
top.
rocking.
We couldn't hardly put the nail in it, so.
So I would, really, it's most of the sign, the neighbors are talking about some of the plantings, but more, I think the sign needs to be addressed. So I wanted to make a motion regarding putting some funds, or at least getting a quote to maybe solidify that
I
sign.
second that motion.
Now, can we find out first about JP and our connection with him on that sign?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Why would he pay half a day?
Well, because if you notice a sign by Rifflemore Still Shadow, it says Shadow Moss Country Club.
Yeah.
It don't say Shadow Moss HOA, it says Shadow Moss
I'm
Country
pretty
Club.
confident that
You know.
that island you'll look up is not owned by the golf course.
And it doesn't say
It
anything.
may not
That's
happen,
right.
but I
But the
mean,
verbiage,
but he does help on most of the signs.
Yeah, I think that one's not one of those.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand the motion was to have the signs checked and redone, or refinished, or
Yeah, the motion would be
replaced,
to investigate the
or
costs.
get a budget on it.
Exactly, and then whatever it might be. we can-
We had a motion and a second.
Can we make sure that, if we're gonna replace the sign, it's equal to what's there?
Maybe a bigger?
No, well, it's the same quality.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Wood and sandblasted letters.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You mean like, I don't want an acrylic sign.
Yes.
I'm with you on that, for sure.
No, it needs to be the same thing, and if they are gonna pay the half the budget, obviously we need to get them involved too.
How about the sign that I'm done with that's gonna be, with that lot is, did that sign be taken down? Did that guy buy that property and,
Yeah, he owns,
and why can't we take that sign down and move it?
he owns the easement, if I'm not mistaken.
We can ask him. He
Yeah.
wants it gone. I've spoken to Bijan, he doesn't want that sign, we can
Well,
always
it doesn't
ask.
say it says Dunwoody. on it.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Does
Never-
it say
You
Dunwoody?
change the name of that
Okay.
section to Dunwoody.
are we ridiculous? I think that all the signs ought to come down and say any subsection, it ought to just say Shadow Moss, period. Shadow Moss coming in every entrance, and in the future boards, I hope they vote on that, so they don't have to maintain signs that say Shadow Moss.
But it
That's
needs to
what
be
it is.
consistent,
You don't
because
need
you're
a
fixing to
Dunwoody sign.
have
You
the
don't need-
Middleburg signs
You don't
come
need
down and
Turnberry,
they
it's
will
all
say,
Shadow Moss.
Some of them have a pineapple on them, and some of them don't have none on them.
But as it stands, can we vote on at least that one specific sign?
Okay, so we've got a motion and a second, we have a vote, all in favor? Opposed?
Would you like me to get quotes to give to y'all, or do y'all want to do quotes on your own?
I think we can get 3 quotes.
Yes, I'm
Do you have sign vendors you already deal with, Lewis? Who are they?
Sign Monkey is one. Moon something is another. I can get you names of them.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I think we need at least 3 or 4 competitive quotes.
We gotta show you the rest of the signs then.
We're gonna check all the signs.
Ron, while you're doing it, that no alligator sign on Shadow Moss Parkway near where Mr. Knight lives, that thing is like peeling off. Yeah, don't use that sign company, by the way, because that sign looks horrible. I mean, it's literally the front's peeling.
no alligator?
Yeah, it was, says no alligators, right near Mr.
Alligators
Knight's.
not reading that sign.
Or, well, no, whatever, danger alligators, that sign.
I'm aware now.
Somebody could check that one.
Okay, if we could, let's go ahead and move on to homeowners. We're running about 30 minutes behind now. You got this, ma'am?
I want to, he's not here, but I want to thank Mike Sullivan. He puts American flags every July 4th and has done it for many, many years. He pays for them out of his pocket. That is a good neighbor. You come home from work or whatever, and it's so nice to see. I also want to thank anybody who has coordinated the truck rodeo. I know y'all, the social committee, the decoration, and who participated in the 4th of July. And the bus of produce. It has brought this community, people are starting to talk to each other.
That's
and
all
it's-
social committee.
Yeah, but it's still, whoever did the signage, and there's a whole group doing it, and it's appreciated. I've heard a lot. Liz, this is for you. Is CMG checking neighbors or checking houses? Like, you used to see the Priuses go by all the time, and I haven't seen them in a long,
No,
long
we
time.
s-
So you're
suspended.
not checking to see things, if things are cohesive or anything
That was
like that
suspended.
anymore? Oh, okay. Why?
Because since there's the 5 different sections, each section has different standards.
Uh-huh.
And so you would have to have the 5 different inspection policies to do it, and the board a year ago, maybe a little more than that, decided to suspend them because there was no consistency of it. We couldn't just do one report. And so anybody that had received any fines or anything, it was taken off their account.
I think to add on to what you said, my recollection rather, was that everyone thought that CMG came in too hot, and they came in and they were guns blazing for a lot of infractions. And a lot of people were getting letters, and there was a lot of complaint that in that transition, there were too many complaints, that they were too strict, too many things were going on. The conversation amongst the board, I think Mike was there as well, was, yes, how do we address this now? How do we back these guys down? Because I remember raising my hand from the beginning and saying, okay, if we choose CMG, we need to remember they're a vendor. And we
Well,
need
I
to
think
set the
there was
standards.
something going to be sent out to all the homeowners to assess that again, and I think it was about
Yeah,
grass cutting and everything. I
Sure.
thought, and I was with the understanding that once that was out to everyone and notified, in a couple of months that they would be back doing that, so we would have, I'm just asking just for
Yeah, sure.
curiosity,
yeah, of
because
course.
I haven't seen it, so I'm
Yeah.
just.
I remember there were issues, I think he just got, I don't remember the
Bill.
gentleman's name. Because he had addressed it as well one time, I think he was gone on a
No,
tour or
we
something.
had our house tower washed and then got 3 notices that
Yeah.
we did not.
And I'm not saying
And
that,
we,
they-
I mean, we power
Yeah.
washed on our own before they
Yeah,
started that.
and I'm not saying that they didn't come in too hot, I remember raising my hand saying that specifically, like, we gotta really watch out, because if, these guys are gonna come in guns blazing.
Well, and I think too that it was just decided upon to do, somebody just decided to arbitrarily do that.
I
and
think
nobody's
because-
noticed.
Well, I think it was part of policy of what they did, but it's on the board in terms of, they're a vendor, so we could tell them what to do and what not to do. And if I recall, it was really about, okay, let's wrap our arms around this and see what's going on in the neighborhood. And is that what you would call? And then we were gonna review it and go, okay, if this is a little hot, then we need to back this down. And then it got pretty, it got pretty silly. A lot of people were getting letters and multiple letters.
But there's
We
another
didn't want that.
dynamic at play. After reading the contract between our HOA and CMG, they get $150, and it might be an automatic thing whenever the lawyer either initiates a foreclosure proceeding on one of our neighbors or attempts to collect money from one of our neighbors. CMG is paying $150, according to the contract. I don't
Are you
know.
talking about
But not on the
are you talking,
fines.
no, that has nothing to do with the violation,
Yeah.
but are you talking about if it goes to lien, the lien fee?
The-
That's if you
the-
use CMG's collection department. If
The
you use an
line-
outside lawyer that you're choosing, that fee doesn't,
But we're just
It's a
talking
different
about
fee.
cruising around, checking grass, is somebody parked on the street overnight,
What I'm
flag
saying
too
is,
big.
what I'm saying is, that's a built-in conflict. According to the contract, you might
these are
want
two
to
different
review
lines
it.
you're talking about
You
though.
might want to review it yourself,
I reviewed some today because I had to
Okay.
look stuff.
because it says that CMG gets $150 from our HOA anytime the lawyer attempts to collect money from one of our neighbors. And that's just a built-in, I'll call it a scheme. That, and I don't appreciate that in the contract. And I don't appreciate, Aaron, you're having signed that contract without board approval.
I think we're talking about
Can we-
landscaping.
Yeah,
funds.
let's
Can we just back, I just want to give you a little context. I agree, I never had a problem with people checking on the neighborhood
But
and,
isn't that what we're paying CMG to make us cohesive and not have something?
It wasn't, it was
And
the board's decision,
No, no,
not ours.
I know, I was just
Decision not
asking
to do
because
it.
I don't really know, and I was just wondering why we're not doing that or why.
We haven't been directed again by the board.
Okay.
The problem is you pay CMG to do that, that had to cost them money because it cost personnel and the vehicles going
Right.
out. When it subsided and they didn't do it, they were just making more money because nobody did a deduct on the contract when you stop that. But the point is they work for the board, so the board has to define what they want to enforce. And once they do that, it is clear, then they have a clear message to do it. Now, I don't know about what they charge and all that, but right,
But that needs to be considered.
we tell them what to do, or y'all tell them what to do, not me.
Would it be possible to have 5 different enforcement policies, or is that
I mean,
something that seems?
yes and no. It'd be really difficult because if you look at the documents, not every section goes into a lot of detail like the other section does. So this is just an example. Middleborough Road, super strict. Dunwoody might have 2 things on it.
And that's what I'm saying. Would it
Yeah.
also depend on the street you're going, you're checking off one list, and you go on a different street, you're checking off.
Yes and no, it just would be, they'd be in here for hours.
have you personally noticed anything good, bad, and different in terms of things that have been going on?
Well, in the neighborhood, you might see somebody's grass, or you might see
Sure.
something, and I was just and it
Yeah.
just brought the question up.
Well,
Sure.
there again, I think if we just communicate with the neighbor too, that.
I think if you ride around, and look, you'll see a lot of people's grass is real high.
Well, we got one.
In the backyards and stuff, and
Sure.
I think we ought to look at just the grass cutting
Yeah.
right now, you know, I mean,
Now, if I may interject here, I remember that list that was sent out, it was a 2-column thing.
Yeah.
Some of it was checked, some of it wasn't, so I wondered, you know, I bought the house, and we bought a house, it had a crack or two in the driveway. It says if there's a crack in the driveway, you're gonna get a fine.
Grass in the driveway.
Every house in
Everybody
Chatham,
has
except
crack.
the Dover house.
So you're gonna get a fine if you got a crack in the
That's
driveway.
what the board, that's what the board comes in, because everything was checked on the inspection file, straight out of the
And
documents.
there's,
And that's what the board comes in and says, no,
that was
we
not
don't,
even,
no, we
it's
don't
not
do
even a
that.
part of that. I mean, you know, it didn't,
It's up to the board to make that decision. How strict you want to be? Okay, yes, we want to do cracks. No, these houses are old, a lot of them are going to have cracks. Let's not do that. So that's the board's decision, and then that's when they tell CMG how they would like us to do the inspections. But if you say, here, this is the inspections at sign, go for it, we're going to go down that list and do it.
yeah, my question was even back to CFG. I said, where did you come up with this list?
They gotta come up from them guys right there.
It's from the governing documents. It's.
There wasn't no government documents, it wasn't from my
I would agree with like all that, that's true.
Can I finish my sentence?
Yes.
That's why we stopped, because not all the governing, not all 5 sections is the same. When we originally did it, it was from the all the sections combined. That's another reason why we stopped, besides the complaints and everything else, is because it wasn't, Dunwoody said this, and Middleborough said the same things. They were going off just one inspection policy for the entire 644 homes. And so that's why it was so stopped as well, because it wasn't straight across the board.
Hey, I just pulled
Steve,
over.
he got plenty of time.
Want
He
us to
ride
do
it.
that?
We all have 25 or certain things.
The inspections, based on what we're paying CFG, is that included in our rate? or
I
is
don't know if that
additional?
was, I don't know if that was changed, because we stopped it a while ago. That'd be something I'd have to ask Steve, 'cause I don't.
Well, our payments to you guys haven't changed.
That's right, that would be a deduct, and look carefully at those.
So that's what, I mean, I'll have to ask.
She said she's got
Yeah.
a check, she thinks it might have been.
How detailed are you?
Let you go.
How detailed are you?
And again, new to the whole thing, don't
Hey, look,
know
if you look
much
at it,
about
you'll see.
anything.
With a minute,
Who's
No.
checking
No.
down the current
No.
hand? Would that not
20
be a
minutes increments to
management
spend on.
companies?
No, ours are.
The vendors that are on hand, that would be.
You talking about landscaping also?
Landscaping,
That
lighting,
costs
who's
us
checking
not.
on that to
Okay,
make
just minutes, so
sure,
did
like
this.
signage,
There'd
wouldn't
be,
that
there's big ailing
be
between people standing.
the management
there, so
company?
it's just blanket.
What we're paying them to do, bring that to our attention?
We're gonna get the entire.
Liz?
We got a Nancy Pelosi thing.
They got a spec, so they know what they're
That was my point, sort of.
We're trying to-
Signs are bad.
Liz, excuse me. I'd asked you last meeting for work logs for the pond company. Did you get that?
For who?
The pond company?
No, I do not have, but I will get it.
Okay.
Yeah, I will get it.
Okay, guys, any more questions?
I have a question.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
want to know who my new board is. I've heard your name, Ron, and your name's Sean. I don't know your last name. I don't know whether you play on this board. You're president, Ron, I'm Melinda, but, you know.
Okay, well, so let's just have
Who's
the
who?
board go around, start with Michelle, and introduce yourselves.
Sure, Sean Moffett. I moved to, I live on Ainsdale, 124 South Ainsdale. Moved here in 2011. I've been on the board 3 years.
Okay, what's your capacity on the board? What's
I'm
your-
a board member.
Just
I
a
don't,
board
I
member,
do
you're not
not
treasurer,
have,
secretary?
I do not have a
Okay,
position.
that's what I like to know. Thank you.
I'm Aaron, you know me.
You're president,
I was
so what are you
removed.
now?
I'm destined to be removed next month, so I'm kind of nothing. Sorry to say.
Artemi?
I'm Artemi Zoltov. I live in Turnberry,
Okay,
and I'm the secretary of the board.
thank you.
Mike Duck, a year
Hello,
and a,
Mike.
yeah, a year and a half into the 3-year term, as is Rick Reeves, who's not here tonight, and the only board member that's currently not here.
And y'all introduce.
I Just no Ron.
Come on, Collins.
Thank you. I just wanted to know. He already voted, but I don't know.
Okay, any more questions?
I have one, just real quick, and then hopefully that's it. There's a Shadow Moss Facebook page that mirrors the one that was originally created. Mike and Harvey are admins on that one.
Or Timmy.
So I'm a member of Shadow Moss, and I requested to be a member of this page, but for some reason I'm not being granted admission. Could you guys help me out?
Am I not? And I didn't know I was an admin.
Yeah, you're on there pretty regularly.
Pardon?
You're on there regularly, so I'm
Oh, I'm
surprised.
all the time, but I didn't know, I mean, he made me an admin.
Whose website is it? I don't know.
I bet that Lucas guy did, but I wasn't posted on it.
It's, he's on the neighborhood website.
The neighborhood website, okay. Is there some reason Aaron can't be on it?
Oh, he can be on
Okay.
Is there
Are
some
you
reason
an
I
admin?
haven't been allowed to be? Yes,
Are
you
you an
are.
admin?
Somebody's got to give rights.
Okay.
I'm one of like 3 or 4.
Is there any
So you
reason I
can jump
haven't
in
been
there.
granted access? I've asked a couple times over the last month, and I keep getting denied.
Denied?
I was an admin, I didn't deny you, but I didn't know I was an admin, and I asked how I was an admin.
Other shows
should be, that's probably.
has some people, when I don't hope the person's not in the room, get a little hostile with people. So that person got kicked off this week, I saw, because he got a little hostile, but I don't know who the person
Well,
was.
Aaron's not hostile, look at him, he's not
I
nice.
just sit here quietly.
No, I'm just saying, there are 2 administrators that I saw on that site, because they came out and said what you need to do and how you need to play nice and all this
Yeah.
stuff.
What side is
But
that?
that's the other shadow moth. There's
Oh.
2 shadow moths.
Now, it
Yeah.
looks like there's 4 admins.
Yeah.
Timmy, Lauren Ward, Ward Cushing, Lynn Bennett, and Mike Up.
Right.
It appears to be the 4 admins.
What's
So
that?
you're not.
There are only 4
Can I
admins on
ask
there.
you something?
Lauren Ward Cushing,
Can I ask?
Lynn
Can
Bennett,
it, if y'all schedule
Mike Up.
meetings, like special meetings, can you check with me? I have 9 communities that I manage, and I like to be at all the meetings.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
that way there's no conflict.
Absolutely. And next month's meeting is,
That one, I'm good. The 14th.
14th.
Okay.
That's the normal Monday.
okay, so you're good.
I'm good, yeah.
Liz
It's
is-
the special,
Is that-
different ones that aren't the normal monthly meetings.
Sure.
Liz, I believe it's half an hour later though, correct, to
We
accommodate the
actually
special
called
meeting?
you out, you were on vacation last time.
Yes, when it was the 5th, I
Right.
was, yeah, on vacation.
Just half an hour is all they special.
Okay,
But it might be, yeah, 30 minutes later.
anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, is there a second? All right. This meeting
This was very informative.